If you want me to advise you on how to do it right, I'm happy to do that. But if you want to waste years of your time, like I have with YouTube, not doing those things, then I can tell you exactly how to not do YouTube, because I've not made a single dollar off of YouTube after 4.5 years. And so but I also know that when you do business podcasting, it's very hard, because the algorithm, if one episode is about e-commerce and the next one is about human resources and the next one is about investing, the algorithm doesn't know who the hell you're talking to. It doesn't understand the avatar of a startup founder or a brand owner. But if you're selling financial stuff, everything is about finance and do this finance, do that finance, then they know, talk to finance people, right? Push this algorithm stuff to finance people. So for her, she's like, I want this to be the masses. I go, you should not make content for the masses, because you're talking to no one.
Yeah, you sell to everyone, you sell to no one. That's definitely the case. And I think that's a good lesson, because even on YouTube, social media, being a YouTuber myself and being able to monetize and convert and make that a revenue stream, you have to really think through how you're solving a problem. Like, why would someone care? It's the same thing with an e-commerce. Like, someone develops a widget, you ask yourself, I'm speaking to YouTube, like I'm recording a video on this right now. Ask yourself, does the world really need another one of these, right? Does it really need another one of these? And if you can say, well, not really, can your stuff be an order of magnitude better than what's out there, right? So then you ask yourself that. And then you have to ask yourself, as a founder, do I have the personality? Because e-commerce founders are wired different. I know an e-commerce founder, and he's doing really well for himself. I think last I heard he's hitting 4 million a year. He started off, just doing it as a side hustle, but he has this crazy obsession with refining the product and making sure everything goes right for the customer and the experience. And he did this real cool thing where retrofit all these Bitcoin mining machines to do custom engraving and etching to, differentiate himself. He's nuts. Like, his mind works completely different. Same thing with the YouTuber, like Mr. Beast's mind works way different. And I think that there's this niche of e-commerce founders. Case in point, I know this kid. I hope I'm not disclosing too much, but we'll see. He comes to me and he says, I need an advisor. I'd like to talk to you. And I go, great. Tell me about your business. And then he says, well, I started an e-commerce brand and I did Fulfilled by Amazon. And there were all these logistics and administration. And I realized that other people can't do it very well. So I got a bunch of money together and I started buying those e-commerce brands. So I started buying underperforming brands on Amazon, and I just put them all together. Now he's in San Francisco. The kid is in his early 20s. I can't remember. He's doing over $100 million in revenue a year, and he's bored out of his tree. Everything is on a system. His family came in. I think his brother comes in and runs it, and he had an identity crisis. He's like, what do I do with my life? I was like, you don't need an advisor. Like, why are you talking to me? And he just said, I'm lost. And he sunk his whole life into that. But when I picked his brain, I said, so how do you break things apart to decide which e-commerce brand to buy? Like, he was advising me, totally different method of thinking. And I think that's something a lot of founders don't consider when going to e-commerce.
I'm happy to take his advice. Maybe he likes my idea and wants to invest in it.
There's a lot of money to be made in buying underperforming assets, like a private equity play. Like, you roll it all up. And that's what I'm seeing right now. And there's a lot of money in e-commerce. You want to know where the money is? It's in helping e-commerce entrepreneurs. Like, look at Shopify, right? Shopify. But I know this founder, he ended up just ditching. He ended up being frustrated with last mile delivery and, all this stuff. And now all he does is he builds warehouses for small e-commerce brands that aren't going to sell through Amazon and all those things. And he just does last mile fulfillment, picking, packing, ordering, all that stuff. The guy makes boatloads, owns his own building, so it's an asset. Now he's just got robots doing it all for him, and it's on automation, low staff. The guy makes cash hand over fist. And because everybody wants to get into e-commerce. So if you can be in the support layer, the administration, the financing layer of e-commerce, well, there's a pretty penny to be made there.
That's why I like the lending side, but I don't own the lending because I don't have the money to. I mean, I could do lending myself, but that's also a really fast way to probably lose all your money.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Yeah, you'd be surprised as how people get started. It's just like anything with investing. It's all about deal flow, right? Like you can easily go, let's say you take 10 grand, you put it in the hands of the right e-commerce entrepreneur. They'll give you 12 grand back, $13,000 back. Like that's a healthy, solid return, right? Now, you look at it, and the healthier they are, the less they're going to need your money. So now you're competing against other forms of financing, banks. So that's where things get really tough, is quality deal flow, just like investing. You get in on a quality deal and they got FOMO, you don't get a good deal. Like you don't get enough ownership to meet the requirements for your fund. And it's the same thing with e-commerce. So then now you have to take risks, and that's where you're going to lose your money. People who need the money. I've got a founder. We were talking the other day. Literally, their product is on my shelf. I think they do like $1 million a month, right?
Thanks for watching. If you liked this insight, I've handpicked another video for you right here on the screen. For more actionable strategies that get you real results, hit subscribe.